It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So first,
absolutely,
and I was like,
let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone. I'm Meredith, and this is Also Podcast. You're probably wondering where Alicia is, but don't worry. She's only gone for an episode while she's on vacation. So this week, I'm actually joined by a very dear friend who lives in Chicago with me, my friend Jill. Welcome, Jill.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Longtime fan. Excited to be here. And yeah,
Longtime
my
fan,
favorite activity.
First time joiner.
Yeah.
It's a perfect phone the friend because I met Jill through a friend and immediately we bonded over reality TV. And every time I record the podcast, I feel like I see Jill right after. And we basically have our own podcast on the side of our
Giving you
friend
the
group.
interactions.
People will always walk up and they're like, what are you guys talking about? And we're like, Vanderpump Rules. And then they're like, never mind.
Immediately leave the conversation.
We have no other reality TV people really in our friend group. I feel like there's a few people like with like Love Island, but as hard as we go and like as hard as this podcast goes, we're about it.
I think reality TV, you guys might have said this before, but like people shit on it and like give a crap because it's like, oh, it's stupid people. But also it's like really analyzing people, especially with Love Island as a great example. Like,
yeah,
they're in a utopia. They don't have to worry about food. They don't have to worry about like working out too much, or I mean they do, but like they're just there to be hot and potentially find love and make friends maybe, like, and it's such an interesting way to like look at like the human psychology.
I was about to say it's a massive class of psychology and human behavior and all of those things.
Yes. No, 100%.
Well, before we get into all of the details of everything we've been reading, watching, and listening to this week, please join us and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, our Patreon, everywhere. It's all in our description, so go find those links. Also, please, please, please rate, review, and subscribe. We like never get ratings anymore or reviews. It makes me so sad. So for Jill's sake, rate this and tell her how amazing she was. Well, kicking off, we are going to go straight into our small celebrations. So, Jill, I'm going to give you the honor of going first because normally I have to go first. So, do you have anything you want to celebrate this week?
Celebrating, I feel like just summer. Summer in Chicago has been really fun. I've got a couple concerts lined up. I am on the eve of seeing Hosier tomorrow, which I'm very excited. It may rain, and it's an outdoor venue, and we're sitting on the grass. But I've been there, done that. I'm prepared. There's also a heat wave. From the corn sweat, apparently, being in the Midwest. I'm not from the Midwest, but the corn sweat was a crazy thing to learn about living here, and that it is real. Yeah, so I think my small celebration is a future. We'll be seeing Hosier live in a full concert of his. So I saw him at Lollapalooza last year, and it was amazing, of course.
Wait, I love that. I can't wait to hear how that goes.
Oh, yes. I will send videos and photos of him. He's beautiful.
Absolutely. An incredible voice. So that's also what you're going to be listening to this week. So that's wonderful. I feel like my small celebration is just being in my apartment and hopefully doing very little this week. I had such a busy week last week and I always sign up for like so much and then it builds and builds and builds. And then you're like, wait a minute, I haven't had 1 minute on my couch. I was out of town last weekend. So my goal is to lay on my couch and watch as much TV as possible.
You have such, like, I feel like a cute setup. Like, when we did that movie marathon, I was like, this is perfect. It's so cozy. Honestly, even I imagine it, like, in the winter, that must be so nice, not having to feel guilty about not enjoying the nice weather. And just
I really do.
Pulling up at home by yourself. Like, truly. But no, I totally feel that.
I should have put that in your intro, that you were there on Harry Potter Marathon Day, because that was discussed on this podcast. So... for everybody, I watched all Harry Potter movies in a 24-hour period, and Jill was an attendee at that.
I don't know how you did that, because I sat there for 2.5 movies, and
I feel
God.
like more.
I joined at the end of Chamber of Secrets, and then I watched my fave, which is Prisoner of Azkaban. And then we watched whatever the next one is, Goblet of Fire, and then I left at the beginning of Order of Phoenix. But it's crazy. Knowing, like, when I left your apartment, I was like, she still has
so much to go.
So many more movies. It just props to you. That's commitment. And that's why you have this podcast, because you can commit watching things. Oh
I do commit to it, aka why I want to be on my couch for 24 hours straight.
Yeah, and perfect for the heat wave. You don't have to go out.
I do have to go to the office, but that's the minimal amount. The rest of the time will be horizontal right here on this comfy couch. So first up, Jill, it's okay if you don't have a category for this because I don't have anything, but we kick it off with anything we've been reading. Have you been reading anything fun lately?
I just started, and I literally have it next to me. I just started Allie Hazelwood's Not in Love book.
How far into it are you?
I'm good, like a third into it. I've read her other three, like Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, and Love of the Brain, which I really like that trilogy. I love a standalone romance novel, but that like is lightly connected to others, because then I don't have to commit to an order. So
I agree, and I think more writers are getting into that, where they kind of have one or two characters spin off, which is kind of nice, because if you do go out of order, like you mentioned, it's not difficult. But also, if you just want to read one, it's not a big commitment.
Yeah, but no, it's very cute. I think this one is more enemies to lovers, which is not my vibe usually. I'm a big friends to lovers. I'm a lover girl myself and a hopeless romantic, but it is giving me what I need, and it's very fun. But yeah, so we'll let you know after, once I finish it, my thoughts. But definitely her other three, though, I highly recommend. Especially, I think Love Theoretically, I think, is the best out of those three. So.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, I am reading something, but it's something I mentioned earlier. I'm reading about redlining in cities, which is not glamorous by any means, but it's my book for the
it's necessary.
The bus. Absolutely. Highly recommend. It's my commute read, so I only go in 3 days, so I'm slowly chipping away at it. But I'm ready for our meat and potatoes of this episode, which is everything we've been watching. And first, to give the listeners just a kind of dive into Jill's world of, I told her to prepare like a reality TV synopsis of how she got into reality TV. That way we can also know a little bit of background of what her interests are, where she got started, and everybody can get a little POV on Jill. So I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm from Philly area. Go Birds. So when I was thinking about this question, I was like, what reality TV was I probably watching at a very young, inappropriate age? And it was Jersey Shore.
Absolutely.
And, like, I grew up going to the Jersey Shore, but not that Jersey Shore, I will say. More of like the family fun, catch some crabs, go fishing, enjoy the beach kind of vibe. But
yeah, just a beach trip.
I do know people that grew up on the Jersey Shore. And it's
wait. So somebody from the East Coast and who went to the Jersey Shore, is it very separate, or is it all happening all at once?
What do you mean, like separate?
Like the Jersey Shore show was obviously in one of the cities. Was it Seaside?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was. There's Seaside and there's all these Seaside Heights. Yeah, so there's all these beach towns,
right? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like. Yeah, I don't know, like, where Jersey Shore, and I probably, if any East Coasters are watching, and any Jersey people are watching, they probably will give me shit for not knowing full-heartedly. But again, I'm here to, like, watch the reality show. I'm here to pump my fist and get my poof up. I should have worn a poof to, like, prep for that, but that's okay. But no, like, I watched that. It was Thursdays, 10 p.m. It came out every year. Like, I fully committed by the time they were in Miami. Like, I jumped in a season late.
Yeah.
Again, probably too young. And probably for the best, I didn't need to watch Snooki get punched on national television at age, 9.
That's okay. That's okay.
Which is crazy. Yeah, so I watched that a lot. So I was big MTV with that show. And then I also watched, what is it called? Hold on, I have this. Girls Next Door on E!
Yes.
Following Hugh Hefner's girlfriend.
That and the Tila Tequila Rock of Love shows, I'm like,
yes.
How did my parents let me watch these things at the ripe age of probably 10?
I remember being a kid, I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my god, they're dressing up. It's so cute. And it's so funny, too, because, like, my friend in college, she grew up in Vail, Colorado, and her dad was a ski instructor. And we were talking about this show, and she was like, my dad taught them in one of the episodes. Like, he was the ski instructor when they went to Vail, and her dad gave her this little cute bunny necklace, not realizing.
That's the thing. Like, I knew what Playboy was and the idea of it. It's not like I was, like, filtering through it at 10.
Yeah.
But I had no issues being like, this is kind of weird or this is off. Like, I can't believe that was on TV.
Say, too, like, to give the show a little bit back, like, those three girls weren't, like, always in the magazines. Like, they weren't the ones, like, fully showing. Like, they were his girlfriends.
Yeah.
Very fucked up concept for that in general, obviously. But it's like, we were just watching their lives, like, watching them hang out and stuff. I know Kendra had a spin-off, like,
that's
with her.
So true.
Everything was all together.
It was like them living in a sorority house, in a sense, is kind of how it came off. I loved Kendra's show afterwards, too. I just, man, that's a good throwback you're bringing up.
Madison, she's, like, kind of having a comeback. Like, I feel like she's been on podcasts I've seen. Like, I know she
has a podcast, and did her book.
Like, a tell-all, which, as she should. Like, honestly,
yeah.
I think for the best that she didn't get a ring with him and, like, actually be locked in with that man. But, like, out of all those girlfriends, she should have gotten the ring. I remember being, like, 10 and be like, why is Holly not getting engaged? Who are these girls?
But, hey, for the best for her.
Yes. No. She's, like, thriving now, so I'm very happy for her. But yes, I watched that, and then I also was an OG watcher of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh my god, me too.
Like, before they really had that money, like, and I'm, like, 27. I think I'm Kylie's age, almost, like, a couple months apart.
Yeah.
So, like, now that I think about, like, when I was watching this, I was like, oh, I'm watching, like, just a child, like, my age and her insane family. But I remember, like, thinking about that and reflecting, because I was like, Rob dated Adrian for the Cheetah Girls. And then I remember, like, in the series, he's like, she's going to India to film, like, the third Cheetah Girls movie. And I was like, am I, like, too young for Kardashians, or am I getting too old for Cheetah Girls? I was like, I don't know if my world should be colliding like this right now.
I feel like that's what made me love Rob, though, is I was like, he's dating my girlie.
He's like Adrian Ballon, like, amazing.
A superstar in my mind. I agree. Yes. I miss those early Keeping Up with the Kardashian days where it was truly like the family, like most of them lived together and they were like playing pranks on each other and doing all of that stuff. Like, it's gotten so far away from it that I can't watch the Kardashian show on Hulu now.
No. And like, early Kardashians, they were giving, like, Kim gave us the "you don't put a sticker on a Bentley" line.
Yeah.
Like, which is hilarious. And I mean, I don't know if she would potentially say that now that she's, like, so famous and, like, definitely produced and everything. But it was just so fun, like, seeing them just, like, be an insane family.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's what reality TV is all about. It's, like, just give me the, like, authenticity of, like, your insane family or friend group or something.
I agree.
Yeah, and those are, like, my big three.
I think we have to be careful, too, with, like, reality TV of, like, shows going on for too long. Like you said, the Kardashians are so produced, and Vanderpump Rules got to that place, too, where Tom Sandoval literally would stop speaking with people if a plane went overhead. Like, that's crazy. Like, how much your life changed and how much. Yes, I want them poor. I want them authentic. I want them grinding. And you know what is giving that? Next Gen NYC. Those are my people. They're rich and they're still giving it.
Yes. And it's so I was kind of, like, not anti Next Gen NYC, but it kind of felt weird. I was like, this is, like, probably one of the first shows in, like, I mean, other than Love Island, but Love Island I would consider, like, a reality game. Like, that's a very different type versus just, like, following random people. So I think I was like, this feels crazy watching, like, 22-year-olds in New York City. I'm just like, oh, am I, like, a little old for this? But then, now that I've gotten into it, I'm like, no, this is what we needed. The rawness.
Yes.
The mix of having kids who grew up on Bravo through Housewives who are somehow more sane than the actual, like, nepotism kids who are just rich in New York. Because that's a specific type of brand of rich, too.
That's so true.
But no, you got me hooked on it though. Like your and Alicia's like recaps, I'm just talking about it. I'm like, okay, I should like give this a fair shot. Like if Meredith likes this, I probably will.
I tell people, because I watched that first episode and I was like, no, this is horrendous. They really effed it up that first episode. But I thought, let me give it one more shot. And it got way better. And the ratings came out recently, and it is the best like premiere on Bravo in years. Like this show too, like, is so incredible.
No, did they? Because I know like with some reality TV shows, and maybe now with streaming, we've shifted away from that. But like there used to be just like a pilot, and then there'd be like a time. Like even like I know scripted obviously has that too, but like even reality shows kind of had, I feel like, a little bit of that time where there'd be like a break. But I feel like Next Gen was like full like, we're just going in head first.
In the filming of it, you're saying?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Usually they film the pilot in like the executive producers will go then shop that pilot around. And from there, then they pick cameras back up. So you usually do have a lull of, I would say, anywhere from 4 months to a year. And that's like, we saw that a lot on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, but a lot more played into their cameras down with like Taylor's Arrest. But this one, I agree. I think they went straight into filming, and I wonder if it had to do with those Bravo kids being in it, that Bravo obviously like picked it up immediately, or if it was dreamt up in-house, and so they just were always going to shoot like 8 episodes. Well, because they had a little bit of time in between, but
yeah, because you're also too getting like the families, which is nice. Because I watched a little bit of Salt Lake City Housewives, so I knew Meredith. And like it's funny when my other friends who's like a big Real Housewives fan, I text her, I was like, I think Meredith's kind of fun, and she's like, she's psycho.
So fun on Next Gen NYC. I love her. Even like the first season of Salt Lake City, I think she was way better. She's gotten a little more psycho on Salt Lake City.
And that's what I've heard, because I think I only got through like half of season 1 because I just could not with the woman dating her or married to her step grandpa. I couldn't. I was like, this might be too far. This might be taking it too far.
This might be my ceiling on reality TV is fucking your grandpa.
Crazy. And then when I went on Reddit, oh my god, of like diving into it. Favorite pastime.
Oh my gosh. Okay, give me your full breakdown of Next Gen NYC. Who are your favorite characters, storylines you loved?
So Charlie sucks.
Okay, but like in a great reality TV villain way.
He's just so like, sometimes I do have to like skip through him just because I'm like, dude, I know like what you're gonna say. Like I know you're just gonna be like potentially kind of racist.
Yep.
Like, dude, why are you, I wonder how the casting was, because I'm like, dude, why are you 29 hanging out with like 24-year-olds?
Okay, that is, I don't fully fault him on, because I do wonder if production had a play in that. If he just like had some friends who were 24.
Yeah.
Because I have friends that are like 40 years younger than me, but I don't have a whole friend group of 22-year-olds to 24-year-olds.
I think it's like him being like the oldest by like a long shot, and then it just skips to like 25 and under beyond that.
Yeah.
Because I think too, like, as like I'm a 97 baby, like people tell me I'm Gen Z, but also like I definitely probably have some millennial in me. So it's like, it is that weird gap in him being like 1 year, 2 years older than me. I'm like, I feel like I'm like, is he even Gen Z? Kind of like,
no.
I mean, him being a crypto trader.
And you have to think this was filmed a year prior. So like, he's probably my age.
Like 30.
Yeah, now. So I would find it weird to hang out with 22-year-olds. However, for a Bravo show, I would probably do it.
Yeah. So I think for him, it's like, obviously Bravo loves their male victim, like who's like trying to get laid and all that shit. Yeah. Like we've seen the blueprint. I think just part of me though is like, it's him like immediately kind of breaking that fourth wall that kind of pissed me off. Of being like, you're telling to Georgia, you're only here because I'm here. Like I got you cast. It was like, my guy, we're on season 1. Like
I agree. However, I would rather someone say what they really think than like say it in a coded way that feels so weird.
Yeah. No, so I'm curious how, like, because I guess they're filming now, if they do get renewed, which I assume they're getting renewed.
They're going to get renewed for sure, but we haven't seen, I haven't seen word that cameras have been picked up. And with that, people are saying, I know you're not a Real Housewives person, but Real Housewives in New York was put on kind of pause, not officially. Like they haven't like filmed their next season for like a year and a half. That people are saying if Next Gen NYC films before RHOBH, like that's
it's
crazy.
So
like these kids really are the future.
But also too, like I think with Housewives, like sometimes, especially us being in Chicago, like I know that there's always been rumors they've tried like Chicago, but it's like one, I think Midwest culture very different than these like other rich cities.
Agreed.
Like it's just not the type like to people. One, people want to be on reality TV. Like that's not really, I feel like, as much of a culture here in Chicago.
I agree.
Like people know each other. Even as an outsider, it's crazy. You guys are all connected by like 2 degrees, and that's too small of a city.
And the money that lives in the Midwest is really old money from like long-standing businesses. Like I grew up in St. Louis, the Bush family, like from Anheuser-Busch, like they are old money. They would never sign on for that stuff. Although this is a plug, not the people who worked for Anheuser-Busch, but some of the relatives did have a reality TV show on MTV, and it was a 1-season show. But like the people you want for like Housewives would never. They are workshopping it again in the suburbs right now. One of my friends, Alexis, is always talking about it, like the suburb that it's in. Like it's hard because Chicago's also really spread out, not in the same way like New York is. That it is hard.
I do agree with that too.
You can't pull from all the neighborhoods of each top person from each one that would sign on. So
but no. So I feel like it like doesn't sometimes surprise me that like potentially like New York feels like a very young city. Like that's I feel like where I was trying to get at too. It's like Beverly Hills, like no one cares about like the LA influencers. At least like from a Bravo network standpoint, but it's like New York is just like genuinely more of a young city. Like people go there to chase their dreams and stuff, but not in the LA way, chase their dreams. So that
no, not like Sir. Like we got that version.
So it does feel like having like the older, like the Real Housewives of New York. I'm just like, I think it's almost like too on the nose is why I would see that like the younger generation could kind of pull through because they're the ones actually going to the clubs. Like they're the ones experiencing like what people think New York.
Yeah.
And that's being kind of trashy, but like we're just.
They've done really well on Next Gen NYC with going out and not being able to film it, but being able to talk about it and letting the drama like build off of each moment like that, where Summer House doesn't. Like if drama happened at a club, they don't know how to talk about it and build off of it in days after and in their interviews. I loved the drama whenever they all went to the box and Charlie didn't like pay his fair share, but had all the girls like drinking on the alcohol.
Money drama. I love a money drama kind of deal. I think it's so funny because that's something like as a viewer, we can't relate to a money drama. No, like that's genuinely something that's like. I mean, I think like Erica Jane from Beverly Hills because I'm at her season where she just divorced Tom Girardi, and it's like. Yeah, none of us can even relate to wanting to marry and fuck an old man for money. Like, this is why I'm going to watch her do it and do it well.
Yes. That's the thing. I want to peek behind the curtain behind your money problems because my money problem is like somebody didn't like pay me back for the $20 brunch that or it'll be more than that, but like the $50 brunch. Like that's not the same. I want to hear about how you got a bill and it was $10,000 and whose credit card are we putting
changes your life. No. And it's just like so interesting. I think too, like having them be so much younger. And I'm curious with casting because just naturally when you're in your early 20s, like you're going to shift friend groups maybe a lot because you're like maybe college. Yeah, you are independent, but for these kids, like they didn't really have that full independence. I mean, even now, like they're getting mom and dad's money, which is fine. Like all for it. Like be rich and be annoying on TV for that 100%. But I think for them, it's like, I think they're willing to actually butt heads just because they're like, well, if I like be dramatic, I know Bravo, I'll stay on. This person might not, like kind of thing. So I'm curious, like
Nepo baby.
Kids.
I was about to say the Nepo baby thing. I think works in the favor because you want to get out of your parents' shadow, and so they're willing to try to like make some drama and make their own name. Like they don't want to be Kim Zolciak or Candy Burris's like, child. They want to be Ariana Bierman.
Yes, and they're like it's stupid drama still, but it's like entertaining stupid drama.
And it's not so like, dark. Like, a lot of shows have gotten so dark because you constantly have to build up to the point where watching The Valley, it paired with The Valley on Tuesdays was a lifesaver for me because The Valley would be so heavy. And then I'd like shift into Next Gen NYC and I'm like, thank God, let's go fight about 10 grand at a club.
Or like fight about like Ava not going to Brooks's birthday because she was like, I didn't want to sit in the car for 10 hours. I'm like, honestly, Ava, you have the means that, like, you should have just done that. But also, like, I get that. Like, that's so real.
Wait.
Like,
can we back up on that? Because I think she could have gone without the whole I had to wait in a car for 10 hours. Because remember Charlie was on FaceTime with her and then she was in New York on, like, day 2 of the trip that I think the last day of their day in the Jersey Shore was when her event was. And then to find out it was like a pop-up store was crazy. I think she didn't want to go, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you're here to make a show and you're not giving anything. You're not showing up to things.
Because like Brooks's Jersey Shore, which is everything comes back to the Jersey Shore. Like Brooks's Jersey Shore birthday, like we know from Bravo that like they have to do a trip. Like, we gotta get them out of their, like, homes and their apartments.
We gotta get them all together in one house.
And, like, shit's gonna happen, and we love it. Like, that's what we're here for. But, yeah, no, so I feel like that was... And I kind of get from, like, Brooks, then, like, if we're thinking that sense of, like...
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You're going to be paid to, like, hang out with us to an extent, like, and you're still not going to come to my birthday? Bitch. I know Brooks has thoughts, like a lot of discussion I feel like around him, but I do think like he does bring like a nice fresh air, and I do love too that he is a housewives kid, but he's like a newer housewives kid. We haven't watched him from like 8 years old. Like I forget which housewife girl it is where she was the meme and she's like waking up in
Gia Giudice. She was like on it. Yeah, from like 6 years old and beyond. And same with, honestly, Riley and Ariana were on it like 8 years old. Yeah, their whole life has been in the spotlight, whereas Brooks did grow up and in college got put on TV. That would be a lot easier. But it is nice to kind of get to know him more. And he is a little bit more grounded. He's more he's that perfect bridge between just a rich kid and the Bravo kid because he was already at NYU by the time Salt Lake City started. So he like got to meet friends in New York City and be a rich kid there and then got the Bravo spotlight thrust upon him.
Yeah, no. And I feel like I saw a comment that was like, sometimes it feels like he's out of place a little bit, but I think that's kind of nice, like for him, especially also too, like, I think if I'm correct, he's the only gay cast member for
I think so. At least the only one open and has discussed it, I think, on the show.
Yeah. And, like, for him, like, considering, like, this cast, because I have a friend who's in the LGBTQ plus community, and, like, she jokes, she's like, I've got you guys who are my straight friends. But then, like, and his Next Gen NYC, these are his straight friends.
That's so true. I would love to see more of his relationship next season, because I didn't know he was dating someone, and so to find that out on the show, I was like, my guy, give me more. My God, yeah. And Brooks cracking up that I was cracking up that he was like, oh, we're going to get engaged. And the guy's like, no.
He's just giant. It's so funny. And like, I was like, give me that man. Omar?
Jill, I was thrilled at the ending. Well, I was like, what are we doing? There's still 15 minutes left whenever the ending was like happening of the season finale.
Okay, that was season finale.
Yeah, it was like weird because of that last 15 minutes. And they kept zooming through the like seasons, I think solely to get to.
Yeah.
But it was just to get to that Georgia and Omar broke up. And I was like, well worth it. Well worth wasting my time for 10 minutes. Thank you for that. Thank God they're broken up.
Georgia, thank you, Charlie. Georgia, she might have her ups and downs, but I think, like, in a way, she is weirdly the most grounded. And, like, for her job, like, her job is a promoter. Which, girl, do it. Events, like, you're in New York, you're young. Like, she's basically kind of doing, like, I feel like the influencer, but, like, actually attaching a career to it and, like, learning skills, which I respect a lot, especially for her, like,
coming in. She's the epitome of the New York hustle.
Yes. And I think it's really good, too, because, like, for, like, fans who I'm sure, like, people, like, living in New York, it's like, oh, that's, like, actually nice to see, like, someone, like, who is kind of, like, one of us, in a way. Like, you do need someone who is, like, genuinely at the heart. I mean, I feel like, for example, like, Lisa Vanderpump and, like, Kyle Richards, like, they are Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Like, you do need that, like, cliche kind of person. And, yeah, like, I mean, Charlie, in a way, I guess, is cliche New York, but, like, in a really annoying way. But I feel like Georgia is great. I do find his and her dynamic very funny.
Me too.
I doubt they're still living together. Post breakup.
Whatever it is, give me Andy and a camera. I need season 2 filming right now.
Well, and when he was, and she was like, oh yeah, like, ironically, me and Charlie are, like, roommates now. I was like, maybe they actually do have some of a friendship. Because, like, that's a lot to, like,
I think they do.
That's a lot to have one be like, yeah, like, she's literally not in the country. You can drop her stuff at my place. Like, that's a decent friend.
My favorite thing is that he left it in the hallway, though. He was like, I'm not moving those.
Oh, and that's a man.
And also, that's
friend.
That's a rich people building. If there's all these boxes and nobody touches them, like, how long were those sitting there?
Gosh, like, I have a couple friends in New York that are, like, full Gen Z, like, 25, like, 24, and I'm like, you guys need to find these people and tell me. Like, I need to know, like, what this is actually like in real life. I'm curious if they'll ever... I guess they didn't do, like, Hamptons, because they went Jersey Shore.
Yeah. Okay.
Hilarious.
This brings me to a question I have for you. If season 2 started filming, what are at least 2 people, you can drop more than 2 people, but what are 2 people that you would drop from this cast?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I think, like, just watching-wise, again, like, I really just do not care for Charlie, but I know that he does make a lot of the drama, so I'll keep him.
Yeah.
I do think, like, in a way, Ava is a little useless, and, like, considering that she, like, couldn't even fully commit, I feel like, to this trip, I'm just like, okay, like, if we need to cut, hi girl. Bring in, I think, honestly, more dudes, I feel like. Because we have a really good handle. Cast. Yeah, but we have a great handle on, like, I really like Ariana, even if she flip-flops a little bit, and I know that's a sensitive term in the Bravo.
But she is a star.
But she, like, and she's gorgeous. And I really like, I know, like, I've seen, like, your clips of, like, you and Alicia being like, I can't believe we like Zaxby's boy. Or whatever his dad's business is.
Hudson, I love him. I need more of him.
Chill. And, like, honestly, get one of his friends on the show. Ooh. Like, one of his, like, real friends, I think, would actually be good. Because Ariana probably already has a relationship with that dude.
Yeah.
And then maybe
it would
we
be
interesting. Like, one of the girls with him.
Ooh. I like this. I like this.
I think I do need dating. Vanderpump Rules, I need dating among these people.
That's a good point. Because we already had, like, we have the long-standing, like, just platonic friends between Georgia and Charlie, and I like their dynamic of infighting, but you're right. We need some other type of couple fighting, whether it's long-standing friends or relationships. I like the idea of bringing a friend of Hudson's on and him dating one of the girls. I really think Gia needs to go, or she needs to move to New York City, because the fact that she is not here is so weird.
It does feel crazy, like, when it clips to her and she's just in a huge backyard. And it's like then they have to hike to her, which, like, make her a friend of.
Agreed. That's a good point.
Like, give her a little bit, like, she obviously doesn't mind doing it, but I think also, like, she's truly Jersey. And I don't even know where she is in Jersey. Is she in Hoboken?
No, I think she's literally at her mom's.
She's, like, north, like, she's like North Jersey. Because I was going to say, like, you have the people who live in Hoboken who, like, they really are city people. Like, they're paying Jersey taxes, but they're, like, literally just a jump over the
yes, and like
whatever.
to some parts of Manhattan are closer than like other parts, you know, like yes, if she was in Hoboken I would say keep her on, but she literally lives at her mom's house, I'm pretty sure,
she's in the suburbs. It's just so funny.
She's like taking like a 2-hour journey door to door like to get there.
And I do agree, like even drama wise, like she felt like she just felt the need to add on versus like actually doing something.
Ooh, that is such a good point.
Because honestly, like if I didn't just like fully binge it into the past 2 days, I do have a real job.
Thank you for your service.
But like if I didn't just binge it all in like the past 2 days and then watch like today's, I'm like, I honestly would have kind of forgotten about her. Like
the only thing I remember
like that, give us Ariana.
Well, the only thing I remember that she did is she hosted them for a pool party, but it's not like she did anything or like had any real conversation because the drama was on the bus to the house. And then she, because of Brooks's birthday, planned, again, anything related to Jersey, I'm like, oh, Gia planned that. But that's it.
Yeah, no, I'm curious, like, what the casting's gonna look like, if they're gonna bring new people. I do hope that they bring new people, like, again, like, Gen Z, like, to an extent, especially in New York, like, I'm sure they can find people. It's just, like, really finding chemistry, but, you know, like, they really, I think, nailed it casting-wise, especially, like, having that, like, I wish, like, in a way, like, I focused more on, like, before the season even premiered, of what people were even guessing wise, being like, how are the housewives kids gonna mix with these kids? Like, how's that dynamic gonna work? Because it's like the housewives kids, like, what are their parents what are their mothers telling them about like Bravo production? Like, I mean, in a way, it's like, hey, like, you gotta be prepared for this, you gotta know this, like, da 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 kind of thing. But I think they really nailed it.
I like that part of the drama was, I don't want to be with those housewife kids. I'm like, hell yeah, tell me why you hate them, because we hate you for it.
Yeah. No, it's the first time that we're seeing, like, truly, like, on purpose repercussions of adults being on reality TV with their families.
Yeah.
Because, like, you think about, like, I mean, Jersey Shore, I think, because Snooki was literally pregnant in season 6. Like, it's like, she's a mother. She is with child. And, like, obviously that show got revamped. Like, they have Jersey Shore Family Vacation where they're all parents now and stuff like that.
But that next generation is still so much younger.
So young. They don't comprehend it. Like, and maybe they're just like, oh, well, also, branding-wise of reality TV, MTV versus Bravo versus, like, E versus, like, ABC, it's such different energies that, like, MTV is going to be obviously very trashy and stuff, like, 100%. But, like, Bravo feels like that mix of trashy, but also they try to be classy.
That
I think
is like, there is still this air of like more respect if you're on a Bravo show. It just depends on what Bravo show and what you did and everything. But you can remain above the fray in a Bravo show and have that legacy and be like, my mom was on a Bravo show. And now we're literally, I mean, the show is like called Next Gen, but like it's weird to see the like fold over of legacy Nepo babies getting reality TV shows just because their parents had them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I think even Summer House, like with the past season, like obviously they brought on Lexi and Bailey. It sounds like, funny enough, they have a new cast member called Bailey, or named Bailey, I should say. Which I think that's a little confusing, but kind of hilarious. But it's like, Lexi, I think, was supposed to be, like, I remember, like, during the show would be like, oh, she's Gen Z. I'm like, she's literally my age. Just not act like it, but she's literally 27.
When you have Kyle, who's 40 years old, like, yeah, Gen Z is a little harsher. Also, she is, like, very Gen Z in her makeup and in everything. Like, that would send the Victorian child Kyle into a coma. Like, he's probably so confused about her lip liner and her lip combo every time he looks at her.
And it's funny, too, because I remember, like, that was premiering and Next Gen NYC was like announced and people were like, get Lexi on this Next Gen. But now that like we fully have seen a whole season, I'm like, oh my God, she would not have, like,
she doesn't work because she's been in the industry and modeling and been so independent. Like, she, I think, socially doesn't jive with them.
No.
But I like the idea of a holistic Gen Z cast because I think that's the better intro into Gen Z reality TV, like, cast members. Just like you mentioned, like, Love Island, like, although that's like a competition show, like, that's becoming all Gen Z. But when it's all of them together, it doesn't feel as weird between Lexi and Kyle on Summer House.
Yeah, no, 100%. But yeah, no. But yeah, I think just them two. I agree with Gia. And yeah, get Ava off my TV and
same. I
give
agree
us, like,
wholeheartedly with that. And I want Shy, the guy who was at the Jersey Shore. Let's give him some more screen time. He was speaking up. Like, he was just a friend of last season. I think he was part of the group of the original cast before the Bravo kids came in. Like, half of the original cast dropped out when the Bravo kids signed on. And Shy, I think, said he would... I don't know if maybe there just wasn't room for him because there were already so many people, or if he was just like, yeah, I'll be around. I just don't want to be a focal point if it's not my friend group anymore. But hopefully he signs on.
I feel like, too, it's like, not only are they getting, like, housewife kids, but, like, they're getting pretty, like, iconic housewives, like, kids. Like, I never watched Housewives of New Jersey. I should. I think that's on my list after I catch up on Beverly Hills.
You should. That is literally, because that is the only show on Bravo that has, like, the family ties, and Jersey always remains with these, like, family ties. It's so weird. It's such a capsule of, like, a one-time thing.
For me, never watching that, but I know who Teresa is. I think that's her name. Like,
obviously, yes.
That woman's face. And then, like, I mean, Salt Lake City, I think Meredith, like, made her mark. It did help that Salt Lake was a newer Housewives that really came through the gate swinging for a Housewives, like,
franchise,
division.
Yeah, premiere.
Not division. And then, who else is there? So that's Brooks, Gia.
And then we have Atlanta.
Which I didn't really know them too, but it sounds like their beef was, like, Housewives Nation.
Let me give you a little bit of the beef, because I actually really want to cover Kim Zolciak in my timeline.
Yeah.
Because, like, I loved Atlanta, the early seasons. That was, like, I watched every Housewives franchise on Bravo. Like, my family had the little DVR thing. I was watching reality TV round the clock as a child. I don't know what the hell my parents were doing. So Kim and Candy, Kim was on there from season 1, and then Candy came in season 2, I think, but early into the franchise. And Candy is a well-known songwriter, singer, like part of a girl group. And Kim had always wanted to be a singer. So Candy helped her. Not joking, Jill. The minute you see the episode where, like, Kim is in the booth singing, you're like, you're horrid. Like, you have no tune.
You bring that up. That is one of my favorite niches within reality TV, is when they're like, I'm going to be a singer. Like, we got Kim Kardashian singing Up the Jam or whatever. You got Good as Gold, of course.
You can be a one-hit wonder if you're a reality TV star. I will say Kim's downfall was she did keep going. Same with Sheena. Like, I just did Sheena's timeline, and that girlie has so many. Yeah. But, so Kim does a song called Don't Be Tardy for the Party, and honestly, it's a banger. Okay. I'm going to give it probably top 5 in Bravo for me. And Candy, they auto-tuned the hell out of her, I will say. And Candy did all the work. She did, like, all the producing. Like, she didn't write the song, but they, like, bought the song. And Kim, like, gave her no money from it. And at the reunion of Atlanta, like, that was a discussion at the reunion, is Candy was, like, crying. She's like, I'm not asking for you to, like, give me all the money, but just, like, I worked hard on this and you're giving me nothing. And Candy sued her, like, for her, like, equal share of it. Yeah, so it blew up, and Ariana and Riley never saw each other again.
Which is so interesting, because from what we've gotten, I think they could have a genuine friendship, and it seems like it's not just for cameras, maybe. But I don't know, when, like, both of them are like, I don't know what the drama was with our moms, and I don't touch it. I'm like, really?
I think you know the topic, but I think they don't know the nuances and probably the court case, because, like, the court case did go through. So I think that's what really made them never be like, okay, I'm never going to rebuild this friendship on my own, because there's a whole court case about it. But they are genuinely friends, is what I hear. I think when
they're really cute together.
when Leah from Love Island season 6, she was on Watch What Happens Live, they both sat in the audience because they love her. And then I think also when Ariana was on Watch What Happens Live, like Riley was in the audience, and like she said that they have seen each other or talked to each other every single day since she's moved to New York and seen each other.
They have such a special like bond.
Yeah.
Especially like being from the same franchise too. Like I think you can make bonds across franchises, but like to them genuinely and their moms like having this friendship before the fallout, it's like, no, like that's 100%. But no, like their friendship seems really sweet. Like I really like just watching them. Like, it's kind of like a Katie and Ariana situation from Vanderpump Rules.
Ooh,
where I'm like,
that's a good comparison.
Could just watch them like be like giggling and just like hanging out.
Me too. And I think it's interesting their dynamic of really always appreciate when I get to peer into racial discussions because I obviously am not a person of color, but I think reality TV is a great way to learn about other people's experiences. And so Riley expressing, you know, how people are treating her and how with the lens of race on that, and Ariana like learning when to interact with things and when to not, I think is a really good thing that everybody can learn from.
Yeah, I think it's they're talking about Ava, and this is like, I guess not them talking about the race thing, but it just cracked me up when, because Ariana was Brooks's mouthpiece, and it's like her voiceover being like, don't give in. Don't give in. It's just knowing that she probably had to go to like a recording booth, watch her like, and be like, and do the voice.
I think about those all the time with Brooks's. I hear people don't like those. I think it's so funny. I don't need it to be a staple, but Brooks, I think it works so well because he's always mute, and he literally, that is probably, I mean, not his exact thought, but those are so pure and hilarious.
And like, that is what Gen Z humor is. Like, as Bravo Nation, like, you do need to bring up this new generation of like reality TV people. And like, at this rate too, with so many franchises of Housewives, just so many series, it is daunting. Like, so to give like Gen Z, like 18-year-old, 19-year-olds right now, a really easy in to be like, no, I can like relate to these people.
Yeah.
I think voiceovers crack me up, especially because it's like him referring to her.
It also like, it gives a little bit of that TikTok nature where a lot of people will post like a voiceover with some type of audio and then you put a caption of like what you're thinking about. Like, it is really giving that type of like leaning into, like you said, Gen Z. Wait, I love that. Oh my god.
It's just him though, like being like, what would Meredith Marks do? Like, I love that he refers to his mother as her reality TV like persona. I'm sure it is mostly her, but he cracks me up. I forgot he was like more the OG of doing that. But I love a voiceover moment. I love when you have to like produce after film because it's just so funny.
And it's not like wild lines that they're just like trying to turn in the narrative. It's just like, okay, like give us some random lines, some random thoughts of what you're feeling. And
like, Brooks, you actually gave us nothing this whole scene. You're going to give us something now.
Such a good point. Well, with that, anything else you have been watching outside of Next Gen NYC?
Yeah, so I'm fully caught up now. As I mentioned, I'm on like the Tom Girardi, Erica divorce pending. But honestly, I feel like I've like...
Who were you loving on Beverly Hills during that era?
I mean, I love Crystal, obviously. And I think, and it's really interesting too.
For those who don't get video, Jill is Asian. Obviously, I was like,
I feel like obviously she's like the least psycho, it seems like. In that season.
Too. Well, that franchise especially, I feel like you get such rich people that they do lose touch, and then that franchise is like in such a different world than others that I'm like,
yeah, it was really interesting. Like, I just hit the episodes like and finished them where it's the election. Like, this is the COVID season. They haven't seen each other. Kyle's supposed to see an election night. Like. And it's just really interesting to see such out-of-touch woman discussing very heavy topics. Like, shout out, like, the fact that in season 1 of Next Gen NYC we're already getting the racial discussions, I'm like, no, much appreciated. Like, call him out, Riley. Like, I stand for that. Even Summer House, when they had those discussions, I really appreciate that. Like, I know there's been a point, like, even in this past season with Emerald, and he's talking about, like, his status and, like, how, like, he immigrated to the country and everything. And it was so, like, interesting. And I'm sure you and Alicia have spoken on this, but, like, when Emerald refers to himself as an illegal immigrant. And Kyle, not in, like, a white mansplaining way, but he's just like, no, like, undocumented. Like, he's like, in a way, like, that term doesn't mean anything. Like, illegal? What? No, it's you're just undocumented.
It just kind of goes to show the generational shift of, like, our generations really, like, wanting to treat people with such respect and humanity. Like,
yes.
Emerald obviously is using a term, but Kyle's like, no. Like, don't even, like, that's a dehumanizing word.
Yeah, so I just really appreciate, like, I don't know, like, those tougher conversations. It's honestly been, like, hard, I feel like, watching this season just because of the ignorance, and, Sutton's a tough one to sit there and watch. I really got to skip through her stuff. Like, I will text my friend and be like,
I think that is one of the first seasons that, at least I can remember, that really tackled those conversations. So it is really tough and jagged, but it hadn't really been done yet. It was a nice break in the ice. And honestly, like, every white person in America is very lucky that, like, these conversations were being had on TV rather than, like, in their own homes, and we got to learn from other people and start to learn 100%. A lot of respect that we were overlooking. And it's uncomfortable conversations, but definitely need to be had. Like you referenced, like, Next Gen NYC,
we're in 2025,
so early. Like, it's so nice that, like, people of color have a voice to be on the show and then feel confident and comfortable to bring up issues without being attacked like they probably would have had prior to 2020 when we obviously had this whole shift because of George Floyd.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and I think too, like, in a good and a bad way, like, you have the various, like, levels of discussion and reactions. Like, Crystal, I think, does a really good job. I mean, being an Asian woman in America is so different than being a Black woman in America. And even being a Black woman is very different than being, like, a Black man. Like, all these voices should definitely be heard. But I do appreciate, like, Crystal just, like, kind of standing up for herself, like, especially in her debut season. Like,
I was about to say, a first season, that would have been really challenging anyways, because you usually get a lot of pushback on anything outside of the status quo, let alone a race topic that is happening all around you, too.
But yeah, no, so I've been really loving, like, her and Garcelle. Like, I really do appreciate their friendship, and, like, when they do connect on those topics. I finally, and I know this is such an unpopular opinion, I think, in the Bravo universe. I'm, like, finally getting to the point where I'm like, no, Kyle is annoying, because I've always...
That is not unpopular.
No, but I've always really liked her. I think that's the unpopular opinion.
A lot of people go through a shift between that season and I think then the next three.
I think I texted this to you. I was like, Kyle, I feel like, is like Sheena, where you don't realize, like, she's, like, kind of the worst person, or, like, just really annoying on this TV. Like, she gives great reality because, like, she's willing to be messy. They're both willing to be messy. But I think, like,
she stops being messy in a helpful way for a show. Like, she stops bringing things to the forefront. And Alicia and I always say that, you know, there's A characters and there's B characters in TV shows. When you become a C character is when you get cut. So it's okay to, like, not be the main storyline for that season, but you still have to, like, show up, participate in discussions, push the plot forward, have a little bit of your life. And Kyle stops doing that, but I think she remains on Beverly Hills because of her, like, legacy on it, in that she will probably help in production ways that others are not at that point with the production team, if that makes sense. Like, Kyle Cook does that on his own. Like, over on Summer House,
maybe
he knows how to run a show.
Maybe it's something with the Kyles, man. But no, but my thing too, why I think I really liked Kyle was, one, I know Mauricio has been having his moments of hanging out with some younger woman, which is very unpopular.
But not in your time. Not in
my time. He's giving me finally a hot housewife husband. And that's what we needed. He's hot. He's kind of goofy. And his show about the agency, that was, like, basically all of Sunset. You should watch it. Like, if you like Selling Sunset, like, you would like this, because, again, family dynamic, 100% over dating dynamic. I think adding a family thing, one, it's just not the same tropes every time, and, like, this is really interesting. But, like, from that show, and obviously, I'm sure he's part of production, Kyle's producing it, so they're definitely going to paint their family in a nicer light. But it does feel like those, like, their kids are raised pretty, like, humble.
That's good.
Like, I would love, if Alexia lived in New York, get her on next Gen NYC. Like, I think, like I really like her personality, and I think she's pretty, like, humble, but also I do, like, give credit to Kyle, mostly because I know Mauricio worked a lot and stuff, and Kyle really loved being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
I think she did raise those kids right, and that's why I think I've always given her a little slack, because I'm like, she's not, like, traumatizing her children. Like,
that's a good point.
Kind of.
Well,
and
I was about to say, there's a lot of housewives where I'm like, oof, the stuff you either share about your kids or the way you act is a bit too much. I agree. I think Kyle is a great mom, and not to mom shame others by any means, but that's a really good point. Like, family was so important to her. And I think a lot of it probably ties to, like, her growing up, and then, like, craziness of her mom, Big Kathy, is, like, such an insane
Big Kathy's crazy.
That's what they called her because of Kathy Hilton. Like, man, yeah. If you love family and husbands, I'm telling you, Jill, Real Housewives of New Jersey is your be your favorite, because the house husbands literally get their own scenes because they are so entertaining. It's the only time I love husbands being, like, involved, because they literally will go golfing and have all this debauchery themselves.
No, and that's what I mean. Like, if you're a housewife's husband, like, you should just be having fun. Like, you usually are the one with the career. You're, like, actually working, but, like, housewives, ironically, that's your vacation. You should just be, like, vibing, making a little money because you're on television now. I really loved when, like, Mauricio and, like, Paul Nassif, I think was his last name.
Yeah.
Like, I loved, like, seeing them. Like, and honestly, like, Adrian and him, they were not a good couple together.
No.
But they gave so much entertainment.
Oh my God, you're gonna love it. These New Jersey, they go get drunk, and, like, one point they have to carry they all go to the Jersey Shore together, another one of your loves, and they get so drunk. I forget if they're golfing or just at a bar that day, and they literally carry in one of the husbands because he got so hammered, and they're literally carrying him in, and the wife is like, what did you do to my husband?
Too, that, like, that just happens. Like, if these like guys are, like, can be friends, like, hang out, like, it's not just for the cameras. Like, I love when you get those little, like, actual, like, no, these are, like, friends. And, like, you
they are.
Lindsay and Kyle and Carl, I think, are a great example. Like, they were actually friends. Kyle and Lindsay have gone through a lot. Obviously, Lindsay and Carl have gone through a lot, like, Kyle and Carl and stuff. But it's like, end of the day, like, they do have that respect for each other to be like, we've been carrying the show.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, as much as, like, I may hate you one season, but it's like, end of the day, like, we're all kind of, like, in each other's corners. And I do love seeing that genuine, like, friendship or, like, relationship, I should say.
Agreed, which I hope, like, more shows and casts take that from Summer House. Is at the end of the day, you need to be friends, and you need to be able to move on and roll into the next season without having these, like, long-standing, like, divisions between sides. Like, it's too much.
The fact Carl and Lindsay broke an engagement, and they're chilling. I mean, they had one beef, and then
which, like, rightfully so.
It's even wrong, and it's her being sober probably for the first time on this show, and she's like, you weren't cheating on me. Okay, it's crazy. And the fact that, like, we have, like, Sierra and West. Very, I'm sure, deep relationship, like, all the stuff that I've really dug in, like, his friend passing, he went to her, like, she really laid it out on the table in this reunion, which, like, I really appreciate. I love her. I'm a big stan of Sierra. But, yeah, like, it's funny that, like, them two, and West even makes a comment when he's asking Lindsay for advice. Yeah. And at the end, he's like, you're the one who basically just went through a divorce, and I'm the one freaking out about my, like, situationship.
It goes to show that, like, those, like, 4-month situationships hurt worse because of, like, what you thought it would be, whereas the broken engagement and thousands of dollars lost and a new baby in the picture is, like, less dramatic.
No, it's so funny. Like, Summer House carries, like, they know what they're doing, and hey, we love a backdoor pilot because that's how I got into Summer House. I started my Bravo journey was Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then once we got that backdoor pilot to Vanderpump Rules, I said, let's shift gears here, and I full Vanderpump Rules to the point where I won a trivia team of one for Vanderpump Rules. And I went up to the guy who's running a trivia. He goes, "Where's your team?" I'm like, "It's just me."
Not the team of one, Jill. Now that we know each other, because this had to be before I met you.
We're gonna annihilate.
Invite me always.
No, we will annihilate, like, any Bravo. Because you have, like, the Housewives and stuff, and, like, now we have, like, the new shows. We could kill it and win a $20 cap.
Oh, God.
But no. But yeah. No, I love Bravo Nation. I think it's really fun. And I love, like, how big of a, like, just network it is.
Me
because,
too.
yeah, like, I was really, for a while, once I got into Vanderpump Rules and then Summer House, I was really anti-Housewives. Because I'm like, I love seeing the youngins fight each other. But then once I got back, I was like, no, but I do love just seeing rich lifestyles also.
Absolutely. And I would say the like 2015 Housewives are so different too. Like they there was no social media, or like if there was, it was like Twitter. And they honestly used to tweet so much. So it's so funny when like Twitter drama, like beef gets involved. But now it's even worse. Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Like, I've already gotten TikToks from, like, Wes. I mean, I follow him on TikTok because he's hilarious. And it's like, I'm already seeing, like, the little clips that, like, I know they're going to probably splice into the episodes next year.
Yes,
I do
so weird.
schedule. I hate seeing them having fun and knowing they're having so much fun. I mean, like, I have to wait almost a year to actually watch this.
That one's harder because you know it's happening every summer and it kicks off with 4th of July and like we're living our summer and I'm thinking about their summer and we have to wait 6 months to see it. But by the time like October hits, I forget about it. Yeah. And then I feel like I go brain dead and I forget about 90% of the things I saw the entire summer and then we get to like actually live it.
Because I was actually going to say too, like spring I feel like is really heavy with like reality TV. Because, like, you got Summer House. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Vanderpump Rules. I've kind of tapped out, I feel like, post-Scandal, honestly.
I heard and have seen some, like, quote-unquote cast members being, like, thrown around. But I haven't seen as much press or paparazzi photos of them filming to feel as confident. So I don't know if they are fully filming this summer, if they've done a pilot, if it would fulfill the old Vanderpump time slot where way back in the day it used to start in November and then it started inching into like January, but who knows with that one.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, what is like the fall I feel like schedule? Because I feel like it's spring and summer I'm pretty locked in.
Ooh, Salt Lake City should show up.
Okay. So I guess like the Housewives, like they scatter. Like they're spread out.
There was only one time where Housewives a Housewife franchise wasn't
okay
on air. Like there was only it was like 3 or 4 weeks, and honestly, people were like panicking because they had like pushed back so many things. But
people in the therapy sessions like something's missing in my life.
There have to be at least 2 Housewives. What's hard is Roni is not filming, and New Jersey isn't either. Roni is hard because like the casting situation, I think they're trying to recast it and there was a lot of like very serious allegations on that. So I think they're trying to just let that breathe. And then New Jersey, the beef has gotten so insane that the cast can't film together. They didn't even do a reunion. So like where do you go?
And they can't do a reunion. That's tough.
Their reunion, Jill, for the final season that aired like 2 years ago, they went to a restaurant and had 2 different private rooms, and the cast watched the finale and reacted because it was that bad of a finale, and like they couldn't do a reunion.
Where you do find that line of like reality TV entertainment versus like this is like real people. Because I do like, again, for the most part, like if you can get a reunion, pretty much, even Scandival, like I'm sure in a way she didn't want to do it, but I also think in a way like it probably was cathartic for her and it like allowed her to fully close that chapter. But it's like, as much as she probably hated him, like there still was enough to be like, I will do this. Like we will all be here.
If you don't show up to the reunion, I've never seen somebody come back the next season and not film a reunion. So you're shutting the door on your reality TV career. And Ariana has said she needed the money from season 11. So I do appreciate when people live outside of their means and are beholden to the reality TV check a little bit because you got to keep giving me that entertainment.
No, because like you are fully like saying, yes, this is the lifestyle and income that I want. Like celebrities, it's like, oh, I wanted to act and like, okay, cool. I became like Pedro Pascal and like became really rich and like actually famous. But it's like, no, reality TV, like you are making an active decision to say, put me on. Put me in
and
coach.
it's less like with a movie. At least I don't know what the going rate is, but like let's say you get like a few $1 million, you can live on that for a few years and then go do another movie later, like hopefully. But reality TV, they really get you because then people are like, oh, I really want hair and makeup for the show and I want to wear these clothes for the show. So then it becomes like a Ponzi scheme on your dollars where you're spending all this money for what is on air.
That's such a good point, too.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here. And you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Because, to shift, I feel like Love Island, Beyond the Villa, have you watched?
Jill, yes. And I hope you're about to talk about the fucking glam because why are we getting glam for episode 1 to sit at a restaurant?
No. Block that. But also, she's apparently dating a Laker.
Really? That's who she's dating? I haven't even looked into this.
Wait.
Okay, let me just say this before we dive into this. I'm not loving this show. I'm sure my glam comment came across. I think this is so dumb, but I'm going to give it room just like I gave Next Gen NYC some room.
Looking you now.
So she's dating a Laker? Who?
I'm looking down.
No, you're good. Okay,
what's her name?
Still live something.
Oh.
Is she still dating this person?
Oh, because people thought Kendall... Okay, Reddit. Also, I don't know if it's you or you do this too, but again, like, I'm watching the episode, I go, that episode name? Reddit. And I fully do a deep dive. Like, I need to know that I'm not the only one who, like, hates people. Or, like, I'm not the one who's, like, standing this person. Because I definitely feel like sometimes I have.
I'll deep dive on Reddit. For me, honestly, it's like way past things where I'm like, ooh, that happened. And Reddit will always know the answer.
No, I can't find this, but apparently she is dating, like, a 23-year-old Laker.
Good for
and, like,
her,
that's the boyfriend. Because, like, I think in one of the episodes, there's literally 2. So the first when Kenny and Janae are talking about it, and Kenny's, like, about to, like, actually speak on her relationship, and Janae's like, you can't talk about it. She doesn't want people to know. No, it was the
opposite. It was Kenny telling Janae she couldn't talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I just told you that off camera. I love slip-ups like that. Like, I love people being like, I don't know if you watched The Valley, but it happened on The Valley finale, too. Like, when Danny, or Nia's like, there's a camera. And he's like, there's all these cameras. Like, I love moments like that, because that is real life now with reality TV.
No, like, now that people can genuinely have a career just off of bouncing from one reality TV to another reality TV kind of thing. But no, like, I just thought that was so funny. But no, the glam fight is hilarious. That's what I mean. That is such a great example of, like, the housewives would never, I feel like, I guess Kyle a little bit in the season I'm watching, like, gets annoyed at Dorit getting glam before a workout event.
Well, it's because she takes forever.
Yeah. But, like, that is what I'm saying. Like, we need, like, Gen Z fights of, like, you didn't tell me you were getting glam. Well, you didn't tell me, guys.
I don't want that. That's ridiculous. These Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is the first franchise to take glam everywhere, and now every other show has glam everywhere, and it's like, okay, those people are fucking loaded. Why are you, Love Island Beyond the Villa, spending your hard-earned dollars on glam? You guys, we watched you do your makeup every day for 6
and we loved it.
weeks, and you're good at it. I understand that, like, which I hated this concept, the Love Island summer party. I understand getting glam for, like, a party or like a night out, but to go to a bar when you guys actually know how to do your makeup is crazy to me as someone who puts on tinted face moisturizer to go to a bar.
And that's our glam. It's like, guys, I actually put on mascara today. I can touch my face.
Like, did these eyebrows, do you see how they're, like, they're defined right now? Like, damn. No, and then them fighting about it, Jill, I literally was like, why am I watching this show?
You know what that gave us? It gave us Kendall being an instigator, of course, being like, why are you guys fighting? No. And then Janae being like, Kendall, get over here. That one moment of Janae.
And then Janae being like, but tell me everything.
No. And that's what we want. Like,
you're so
because
right.
We want the personalities. Like, trust me, to an extent, we are here as Beyond the Villa fans to see Leah Miguel, Janae and Kenny,
PPG plus M,
and Serena and Cordell. Maybe a little. I appreciate Taylor Aaron drama because, like, that's legit. Like,
me too. But I'm like, let's get to it. Meet up, people. This is episode 2. What are we doing?
So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the way they filmed it and are really setting it up, it is so interesting because, like, to come from, like, Love Island, where they knew they had cameras on them 24/7, but I bet in a way, though, that let them kind of be like, okay, there's just always cameras. Well, like, this is my new life.
Love Island is so different because they're not hidden by any means, but they're all, like, away from you. And so you learn to live your life, whereas, like, a cameraman in your face is so different. Like, I remember seeing when they were filming this, that Kayla and Liv were fighting, and everybody was like, this is fake. And so to find out what this fucking fight was about pisses me off a little bit more.
You've been waiting a year for this, and you're like...
It makes me think, like, are we so fucking are we actually fighting about this? Or are we doing this for cameras? I guess I just doubt some of the stuff they're fighting about, because of course you want to show, and no shade on that. Like, but you're going to try really hard the first few weeks of filming to secure a show. So it gives you that income, especially if all these people moved out to LA.
Well, and it's too, like, it's so interesting because, like, when you watch the finale of, like, season 6, like, they announced the reunion. They didn't think America loved them as, like, a whole cast to be like, we want more. And I'm curious this season if, like, did America really love this whole cast? Or is it just because, like, they gave us good, but, like, we kind of set the precedent last year, like...
Yeah, everybody was hoping for something amazing off the bat of season 6. And I think it's such a big time commitment, you're like, I'm staying.
Well, and you have to think, like, and you're definitely more of a Love Island girly than I am. I know you've watched, like, UK and stuff, but it's like...
Oh, yeah.
To think, like, with all the seasons that have ever happened, and for last year's to be like, we're getting a reality show. Yeah. That's how much America loved us as a cast. Yeah. It's like, we're getting our own
really
reality.
Good season, even compared to, like, Love Island UK. But I think it's just, it's that... I think Ariana hosting brought in a whole new wave. Like, I only started season 6 because of Ariana.
Same.
Like, I wanted that premiere to, like, have a lot of numbers. Absolutely. And for the first time, I never watched, I have tried to watch Love Island US in prior seasons and couldn't. Like, it just wasn't it for me. Part of the lore is, like, the English accents are really, you know, like, fun, and the lingo and all that stuff. But it just never hooked me. And last year, I paused Love Island UK to day-to-day watch US. And then I went back and finished UK. And I haven't even started UK still. I will go watch it, but I'm like, all right, like, I needed a few weeks break of, like, hours and hours of commitment. But this season wasn't it for me, and obviously Alicia and I did a whole deep dive last week, but I will say the
great episode.
Thank you. The post Villa stuff is popping off, and I'm enjoying the drama, and I can't wait for the reunion.
Yes. And, like, because I feel like I was in it last year, but not as heavily throughout the entire season, like this year. Like, I do wonder, like, were they as on social media last year? Like, people, when they were leaving and stuff, like, as they are right now?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you said you weren't watching it week to week or, like, day to day last year?
No, I, like, kind of, like, bopped in and out last year.
Jill?
Okay.
When Andrea left the island last year, you know, when she got voted out in tears, she was on live on TikTok every day.
I remember hearing about that. Well, and then it was Janae coming in with her notes at the reunion. Page 4, let's get to it.
That I don't think as many, like, early contestants were, like, as chronically online as maybe this year, but, like, more people were seeking it out too. So, like, I wasn't seeing a lot, but I will say, like, Connor from season 6, like, went on a date with Katie Maloney, and, like, that was all over the press because, like, paparazzi was all over him. So it was, but I think people are making videos more because they just already know the spotlight's on them.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, like, even one of my friends, she's, like, big Love Island UK, like, stan. And even she was like, last season blew Love Island UK out of the water.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like,
Jill,
casting?
UK, a guy literally had like a toupee. His hair is so weird. I'm gonna have to show you a photo whenever I see you this weekend. His hair is so weird.
I can't wait. But yeah, no. So, no.
Well, let's dive into, give me your thoughts on Beyond the Villa.
So, I really like it. I do think I feel like Next Gen NYC, like, considering they're both new shows, really focus on, like, Gen Z for the first time.
Yeah.
I think like, it is a little, you can tell it's a little produced, and like that the Islanders feel produced versus Next Gen. They definitely felt much more natural, just like being with cameras right in their faces. But I feel like, don't judge a book by its cover. I would let this season cook, because we probably will get, if Next Gen NYC gets 8 episodes, I'm assuming we're also getting 8 episodes, but also give us more. Like, reality TV should minimum be like 15 episodes, I feel like.
Most of Bravo's like first seasons are about 8 episodes. Like even Real Housewives. Like I just started Real Housewives Miami from season 1, and that was 8 episodes. So I think we forgot because we're so used to now these 8 episode seasons. But these shows used to not be so. They went from like 8 to like 15 to then like 26, and now we're like shrinking back down a little bit. So I think first season does need to be 8, but let's get like 12 on Next Gen NYC next season. And I bet Love Island Beyond the Villa will be 8. I'm curious to know if you think that then like this season's Love Island people will integrate in.
Well, that's why like I'm really curious how they're going to like look at Love Island Beyond the Villa, because I could totally see it being a one-hit wonder show. But at the same time, it really depends how much they really want, like, considering Love Island now, I think season 6 might have been the first year it was like a Peacock original.
Yes, yeah.
Which, you're getting Peacock money. So I feel like, I'm curious how much then Peacock's going to be like, let's invest in this.
That's a good point.
And like, really lean into like Love Island being like the next Housewives kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not to that extent. Obviously, that's a huge franchise.
It's harder to be, a massive franchise. But yeah, like, will they do basically a season 6 show? Or like, would they do, it doesn't even have to be per season, but like, this one's obviously LA based. Are there any Love Island characters? Like, Amaya is New York based. Are they going to have like a show in New York? Like, could they?
Amaya Papaya in Next Gen NYC?
No, not her in Next Gen NYC. Her and her own Beyond the Villa, like NYC style.
It is crazy though. You have to think, they all are in the same age group. Like, they could be friends.
Yeah, but they are
feel
in
so
different worlds. They're in different game systems. Like, no, I know I watch all this stuff on Bravo, but it is hard for me to go from like Love Island into like Bravo in my mind. Like, I'm like, whoa.
No, 100%. But that's my thoughts. I'm really excited. I'm curious how they're gonna really edge out these next like 6 episodes. I want to see more PPGM. Because like that's really the core.
Agreed.
And yeah, but we shall see.
Well, like that's the like lighthearted story, and then Kaylor, Liv, and Aaron are gonna provide like some of the drama because we all like we need conflict, and we don't want to see PPG plus M in conflict. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no. Oh my god, that would hurt. Casa Amor was enough. And I wasn't even watching that live. Like I knew that they ended up together, and still watching that, I was like,
"Oh my god,
how did we get here?"
No, I literally didn't. I thought the whole season was fucked at that point.
Like, game over. Sorry, Ariana, your first season, tough.
And I've seen people boomerang back from some Casa Amor experiences. I'm not joking. I love conflict because I like when people get back together. Boy, is it hard to watch when it's real people and not a scripted show. And so to watch, but I do enjoy when at least one guy brings back a girl from, like, in a strong couple, like, back from Casa Amor, but like, wow, all of them doing it, that was tough.
Well, and it's the fact that like only them 3 out of all. I mean, Rob, who cares? Rob, bring a girl back. We don't care. You're just hot. Who cares? But it's like the fact that like Aaron obviously fucked up on his own, but like came back solo.
Mm-hmm.
And then Liv chose her guy, so like she didn't care. Like no one cared. I don't even think she had a guy really to have in Casa Amor.
No.
Kendall didn't come back with anyone, so it's like the fact that those 3 was crazy to watch that. When I want to watch men get yelled at, I watch that episode.
Such a good masterclass in putting a man in his place.
And I will say, too, I think they said it in interviews, like, that cast of Love Island, and we can, like, shift then to, like, this past season. They really did make a point. I think it might have been, like, Serena or something, who was like, listen, if I wasn't in this, like, scenario, being on this show, trapped with my man, I would not have given him the time of day after that fight. But she's like, okay, we're obviously here on this TV show, like, and I appreciate her breaking that fourth wall to be like, we're in such a different scenario. Like, society norms are absolutely broken. You can get back with your man and, like, really work through it and stuff. And I appreciate that. Like, that they were like, we will have this conflict. I will yell at you. Cordell did a great job, I feel like, taking it. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to think, like, because we're getting, like, kind of the match of, like, Serena was 27, Cordell was 22.
Yeah.
Now we're getting Ace, 5'10" King, who was 22, and Shelly, who's 27. I'm like, should I be dating a 22-year-old?
No.
So it's, like, making me cry.
Remember what Serena said, that it was not normal dating life.
I text my friends, I'm like, guys, I might crush out. Do I need to date a 22-year-old?
Here's the thing. I think if you met a 22-year-old who was mature and, like,
they didn't know their age,
it could work. Yeah. However, to go on, like, a dating app and put that, I think you're a needle in a haystack right there.
I think you would all have an intervention for me.
I would be concerned if your dating profile was down to 22. That just is a waste of time and energy.
Dude, the lowest I will go is 25, and even that sometimes feels a little scary.
Trust me, I understand. Okay, wait, so post Villa Life for season 7. I know we were texting this week about listening to some of the episodes. Let's go in chronological order. Did you watch Call Her Daddy with Amaya Papaya?
Okay, so I have, like, the only thing I've actually watched is the Keke Palmer, Shelly, and Elandria.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, what I will tell you about Call Her Daddy, it was very fun with Amaya. I mean, she's just Amaya. Like, she gave us some little phrases about how she went through some shit and basically took, what's it called, to, like, make your whole insides... God, why can't I think of the medicine that you take? It doesn't matter. But she just gave us more of the random Amaya Papaya sayings that will just now live
great
on
one-liners.
forever. I don't know where she comes up with these things.
No, my friends would text me some about, like, my dating life, and they were, like, quoting her, and I was like, this is so cute. I'll have to dig for that and send it to you afterwards. But no, you're good. She feels like someone I would want to be friends with.
I know. And I really love having more of Amaya, like, shine, because... while, like, on Love Island, you're constantly competing with all the stories and all the drama. And I think after a while there, like, Amaya and Brian are not dramatic in such a great way. And so I'm really excited to, like, watch their love story unfold and also give it room. Like, they were a late couple. So who knows what will happen outside of the villa. Next up was Huda on Call Her Daddy, and I know you just mentioned that you've only seen Kiki's. Let me just say this. I'm not a Huda stan. I do see her and understand her so well because I also have been a crash out queen a time or two in my life. However, I've gone to therapy and really, really worked on myself in the last probably 3 years. So, like, she has time to do it, but this just reaffirmed to me that she needs to go to therapy. She spoke a lot about how she was abused by her father growing up. Her dad like abused her mom, and I feel for everything she's gone through, and I can't imagine becoming a mother at a young age. But what I will say that frustrates me the most with Huda in the Huda stans is that Huda gets every excuse in the book or every explanation in the book of why she does what she does. But if somebody does something to her, there's no commentary. They are a horrible person. Shelly and Elandria are mean girls. Like, it is immediately a label on how that person is a terrible person if they've ever spoken up or done anything to Huda. And that pisses me off.
The thing that really reigns true in reality TV that I think has come up more, like, in the past couple of years is, like, multiple things can be true. Huda can have, like, a really awful upbringing and, like, lash out and probably be, in some ways, like, not rightfully so, but, like, that's her reaction. Like, and like you said, she should go to therapy. She should learn how to grow and, like, take care of herself. Like, obviously it sucks that she was abused and, like, witnessed abuse in her family and upbringing. But also, like, you're going on national television, girl. That's probably become international at some point. It's like, you're now, like, on the face. Like, you should really handle this and maybe take a back seat a little bit and, like, actually take care of yourself and your daughter. Like, if you have a child, who is 5. Like, you're awake age. Like, you're not just like a baby, like fresh from the womb kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's where, like, the stands. It's like, I do, like, agree to some extent. Like, she definitely, I think, with certain things was treated poorly. But also,
Absolutely.
like, she definitely went so far. And, like,
Oh my
not
gosh.
even the way I think of some good TV. Like, I don't know if she necessarily gave us, like, great TV with her crash outs sometimes.
I was, like, worried about her. It's not like Serena, like, yelling at Cordell and, like, giving us a moment. Like, I think it's her having really big emotions, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a very strenuous environment, but I think she also doesn't know her emotions. Again, as someone who really struggled with that growing up, like, I didn't learn about my emotions. I didn't know what I was feeling. And so the quickest way to react is anger or sadness. Like, that's a lot of times all you know. And so for her to have all these feelings, not express them, but then hold other people to a standard of treating her about her feelings that she doesn't even do herself is really challenging, because there's a communication gap. Like, other people don't know what's inside your head. And so to be yelling at people and yelling all over the villa and changing everybody's experience is the difference for me. Like, Serena and Cordell, it was like their thing. And like, friends obviously got involved to make sure each other was okay. But every single week, Huda was like making women feel uncomfortable when they would first come in. She was yelling at Jeremiah all over the villa where other people like were privy to it. It didn't work for me in an entertainment like. Well,
because I will say like a really great point that like during my rewatches of the crash outs after Casa last season, it's like it's the fact that like Miguel brought a girl back. So him and Leah, obviously, theirs probably was the least dramatic, but like that's still a little tension of like Leah's like, no, I know the man, he's gonna bring a girl back, I'm not surprised. So you have like that kind of thing going on. Like that's obviously like Leah's feelings are hurt level, and then you get to the next level where it's Janae and Kenny. Kenny's crying, so sweet, like just my heart for him. And then you have like the extreme where it was Serena and Cordell, like that thing. But what fascinated me, and you could never find that from Huda because she, like you just said, kind of ruined the vibe of the group. It's the fact that, like, even though our 3 main couples are all crashing out with each other, Kenny is crying into Leah and Serena's arms.
Yeah.
Like, 2 of Serena's best friends who are like, hey, you fucked up, but, like, we're still going to console you. Like, we still see you, and, like, I think we can believe in you and stuff.
I think there's always still a level of respect. Yeah. I think the only time it was disrespectful was the Serena with the plate, but, like, that was iconic TV. So, like, I will always give that a pass.
That was so just like subtle. Like it wasn't
Agreed.
Her cursing girl out.
Agreed. Like again, that's the highest level of offense that season.
Yes. No, so it's just the fact that like you would never have anyone like consoling each other, like being like, "Oh, my homegirl, like you just ruined her life, bringing this random Casa girl in." It's like no, they all actually could talk to each other. Even Miguel, when he's getting cussed out by Serena, he's like, "Hey, like I might have missed a page." Can you explain? Which is kind of hilarious hearing it from him. But yeah, so like, I definitely think I'm curious, like, if Huda wasn't in the island, or if she had gotten kicked out when she should have been kicked out during that first vote instead of Charlie.
No, instead of Jalen. Oh, no, Huda could not have gone when Charlie left. She was safe.
They voted. But I'm saying, like,
had America not saved Huda.
No, because that was the Islanders voting.
Yeah, but you were only, it was like people up for elimination based on like how America voted, and Huda was safe in that. I think people forget that Huda was actually safe by America, but the first time she was really up for like voting out was with the Jalen and the door situation. Well, on the backs of not Call Her Daddy specifically, but it was also an Entertainment Tonight interview. That one was only like 15 minutes. I also watched that on YouTube. That's when she said, like, yeah, I really did feel like I was bullied in the villa, and so to come out and like see that people agreed with me is like so nice. And I'm pretty sure on the back of that interview is when Shelly Nalandria unfollow Huda, and I was like, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're moving to the Kiki interview, like,
go for it. Oh, well, what I want to say about that is I texted you about this, that had to be recorded before
Yes,
the
that
other
helps.
stuff came out, because you can just tell the way they're talking about things. They would have been more shady, and rightfully so, had they been actually reacting to Huda stuff.
No, and that's why, like, again, like, it's kind of like Next Gen NYC, like, we're getting in a debut season, like, a conversation about race, like, multiple times, and, like, having to reiterate to this white man, like, hey, this hurt my feelings. And I really appreciate, real quick, like, about Riley just being like, no, I know he's coming from a place of ignorance, and that's why I'm trying to teach him, like, and then that's on him again. But, like, I really appreciate, I think, if I did timestamps in my notes, like, I think within the first 15 minutes, they're already talking about, like, the experience of being a Black woman on Love Island, which, props to US, from what I can see from, like, Love Island UK and Australia, like, the US really does well, like, having an actual diverse cast, and, like, actually making, like, voices heard and stuff. I mean, Amaya and Brian being the first, like, Latino couple to win, like, amazing. I love that for them. Like, very happy. But even if Nick and Landry had one, it's like, great, we have, like, still, like, another Black woman. Like, we are having that representation. And I think, again, because America gets to vote, like, that's really nice to have that kind of light in this tunnel that we are all in right now.
My vote matters.
You know, but and one, too, like, Kiki, you can tell, is a fan of Love Island.
Oh my God, yeah.
Which is really much appreciated, because, as I said, like, I think before we started recording, like, being a host and being, like, a interviewer is a skill. Like, it's journalism. You can't just hop on here to, like, do whatever. So I think it's really great. And obviously you could tell, like, Alandra and Shelley were her, like, faves. And just, like, having that. It felt literally just a copy of, like, having, like, her interview Serena and have her interview Janae. Like, just
I bet
girls yapping.
Having them go on a Black podcast where it just is a different space when somebody sees your, like, who you are in that way, really helps. I really enjoyed when they talked about the expectations of women, of Black women on reality TV, because probably more than 6 months ago, Alicia and I released an episode with a cast member from Summer House Martha's Vineyard, and he had spoken about how Summer House Martha's Vineyard cannot act like Summer House. Like, they don't get the same, it's not even edit, but the same perception by the audience. And so they have to act so differently. And hearing them reiterate that is a good reminder to myself of there is no grace for Black and African American participants of shows. Like, whereas a white woman crashing out, like Leah last year crashing out, like, gets all the grace in the world, and she should get all the grace in the world. But we should also extend that to Shelley and Alandria voicing their opinions on the Stand on Business challenge. Like, the minute they spoke up for themselves, they get labeled mean girls. And that is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, and then even to it, like, Amaya, like, I love that she's coined the term sensitive gangster. I think that's so funny, and I relate so hardcore as a girly who cries at TikTok edits on the bus to work. It's great. I remember asked once, like, when's the last time you cried? I'm like, probably yesterday, like, doing something really stupid. Genuinely. But, yeah, like, I think the stand-on business was really interesting to see that reaction from, like, America and the audience and stuff. Because I remember, like, seeing that, and I was like, what? Like, what?
Well, I'm like, okay, yeah, Shelley should have talked to Huda, prior to the day. But again, we're not all perfect. We're not all doing things correctly. And the amount of grace that Huda gets for any commentary, anything she does, is so different than the one time Shelley doesn't do something perfect.
Yeah. No, it's definitely... Yeah, like, I really appreciate, and you can tell too, like, with Kiki, like, she was hearing them and really giving them that platform. Also, I really appreciated that she did both of them together on an interview versus, like, a one-on-one. Because I think you have, like, them two, like, really bouncing off of each other. Because I know she had Serena and Cordell last year. And then she had Janae just recently for Beyond the Villa promo. But it's just really sweet. Like, it felt like just three gals just, like, literally chit-chatting about...
I agree, because like, I think you gotta keep it pretty lighthearted, and then they got to address some of the drama, but still, they gotta fangirl at each other, both, like, Kiki loving Love Island, and then, like, loving her
Them
back,
obviously knowing Bomber, like, True Jackson VP.
Yes. I will say with the stand on business, also hearing that it was like 6-7 hours and everybody left it.
Crazy.
Again, this is their opinion, but that everybody left it like they really got to air things out pisses me off so much if Huda references that then as the time she was bullied, because that was literally the whole challenge.
Yes. No, 100%. And like people say that like, oh, she didn't know what the show was. I'm like, girly, that's insane that you don't.
She said that somebody told her to go on it and she had been wanting to be on it. She said that on Call Her Daddy, and I was like, oh my God, everybody has been saying
she's
she had
digging
no clue
her
what she
own
was
grave.
in for. Yes.
Yeah.
Her Call Her Daddy episode, I recommend people watching it if you don't like her, because you will feel justified in exactly who she is. One thing I will say I'm sad about for her is obviously like Alex Cooper always tries to like intro people, learn about their lives. And one thing that makes me feel sad for Huda, going back to like she should go to therapy, and that's no shame in the game. This girlie literally went today as of recording. I go every 2 weeks, so no judgment here. Is they were talking about something and Huda immediately starts tearing up and is like, oh my God, like I need a tissue. And so like Alex gets her one and she's like, oh, you caught me and I'm about to like be on my period. Like, gosh, like I normally, like I won't cry like this. And Alex was like, no, like let it out. Like she was talking about like her childhood and like traumatic stuff. No. And she like was so upset that she was crying. And I'm like, I just don't think she interacts with her emotions in a healthy way. So then it like builds up. And and so, like, that's the start of it where I was like, wow, I see why you're doing these things. But again, that's not an excuse. Like, you do need to learn how to do better.
No, 100%. But yeah, so I feel like, and that's partially, I think, too, why I don't really, like, want to inhale, like, that content, especially, like, with the Huda stuff. I'm like, I don't need to be giving her any more time. Obviously, I know it's different for you. Like, you wouldn't have a podcast on all this stuff. I feel like for me, as, like, a casual, like, in it kind of person, I was really looking forward to the Alandria Shelley talk. And again, I just love when, like, girls are yapping. Like, I love the Summer House trio, Sierra, Amanda Page, R.I.P. Paige, not coming back this season. But it's just, like, I love just girls, like, getting to, like, hang out and, like, vibe. I mean, we even saw a little bit of this season. I mean, minus the whole Sierra being a producer, essentially, plot point. Like, you got to see, and a lot of people really made comments, too. And I think even they talked about it during the podcast, that they were like, when Alandra was about to get kicked off the island, the way that the girls sobbed. And, like, it felt really nice. And I loved that they said this about themselves, too, that they were like, we were, like, really loved in the villa, like, them, too. They're like, people, like, really came to us and trusted us.
I forgot about that. They're like,
probably
who loved us.
Yes. No, and I appreciate them, like, actually standing up for themselves in that way and being like, we were beloved by, like, our fellow Islanders.
Yeah.
We get it. Like, we're not seeing everything that's being filmed. I'm sure maybe there was maybe, like, one shady thing, but it's, like, in the grand scheme of it, nothing compared to Huda. So it's, yeah, like, I really appreciate that. Also, they both were reached out to by the producers. Which, and I mean, reached out, like, prior seasons, which...
This might anger you, but Huda applied. She was not reached out to. She applied. Because a guy...
I know, that matches her character.
Yep, which, like, if you want to go on it, that's no shade, but it just adds to the, like, she knew what she was in for. Yes. But, a guy she was, like, seeing, it's so funny because she literally said that, like, he knew what was my dream date, he knew that. Like, she was like, oh, I really wanted to go on Love Island, and he got reached out to, and he knew that. And it's like, again, he didn't have control into being reached out to by that. Like, he can deny it, obviously, 100%. But that she was like, I'm gonna apply for it, I'm gonna get on it, and like she did. Hats off to her, but
no, 100%. But yeah, like, that's very different. Like, when Shelley and Alandra are like, we kind of knew, like, we had seen it before, like, UK, I was like, no, and admit it. Also, if you're going on anything, I mean, me being on your podcast, I'm like, I need to, like, listen, so I kind of know what I'm getting myself into.
My God, like, we say that all the time. I don't care if you've ever watched it prior, but the minute you start the process of either applying or being reached out to, interviewing, do some research. That's on you if you have no clue what you're stepping into. No, but, like, watch a season. Know the process.
Familiar with what you need to. 100% agreed. Looking at my notes, too, of just seeing what else. I always think it's interesting. They did bring up during that podcast episode, I think, because, like, it's interesting too when the OGs get asked, like, hey, like, if you were Casa Amor, if they asked you to be Casa Amor, would you? And they're always like, no.
Oh my god! Well, I'm like, no wonder, like, Casa Amor tends to be, no offense to these people, but, like, somewhat subpar. It's because, like, people are so egotistical that they're like, no, I would never do that.
Frame it in a way, like, you're the temptation. You're automatically, like, in a way, like, the villain. Ironically, I know the Sierra thing's going on. But also, I'm like, I wonder, too, now that we've got a Bombshell and Casa Amor guy who just won, I wonder if that's going to shift it. That, like, we might get more Miguels, we might get more Brians. Like,
I will
more
say,
hot
I
guys.
understand it from, because anybody who goes on reality TV and is like, I came for love. Like, yeah, you can come for love, but, like, let's be so fucking for real. You also came for the audience you're going to get off of it.
Yeah.
I do understand the, like, strategy of wanting to be on early because then you get more, potentially have a longer runway of screen time. So I always say, like, I wouldn't, if I was going on it, I would also say I want to be an original to try to get it, but I wouldn't be like, if they deny me, I wouldn't say no to Casa. I would want to be an early Bombshell because, again, you get that runway, but...
I was about to say, being a Liv Bombshell, that first one, being Amaya was the second with Hannah, or, the second with Hannah, like, because Sierra was the first. I forget she was the first Bombshell.
Yeah, her and Charlie. I do forget about them because they were in, like, the Hideaway that, in my mind, they felt like they existed already.
They, like, put them away, literally. Me, I was like, why are we in a bed already?
For a while there, was the only, like, Hideaway experience, and I was like, what are we doing? I will say, let's get back to the original Love Island format. I think they, like, strayed way too hard off of, like, the original. There were
no movie night.
No movie night, barely any recouplings. Like, let's get back to those.
I will say, like, and Rob always, like, last year during the movie night, he was like, listen, we're putting all of the cards on the table now. And I think that's a good thing. Like, you guys might be, he's literally basically like, you guys might be crashing out, but you'll thank me later for giving us this movie night.
Oh my god.
Maybe to an extent, but yeah, like, you had a format that worked, obviously, through different franchises and 6 seasons deep. Why are you trying to shift so much? I did like the parents coming in. But again, that was just an added from what they usually would do.
In UK, they started with that, and then during COVID is when people got into video chats. And then I wonder if, because US used to be filmed in Hawaii, so it's a lot easier and cheaper to fly people to Hawaii. And so I wonder if when they shifted it to Fiji, if they stopped it for a little bit.
That's true.
But I think it should be in person as well.
Yeah, like, I think that was really sweet. Like, I mean, a la Bachelor Nation, like, they get to meet the parents, like, actually meet the parents. Yeah. Because I do really love that, and why Love Island has, like, shined so much more over, like, Bachelor Nation and stuff. One, it's definitely more, I think, overall liberal versus Bachelor Nation tends to be a bit more conservative because it's at ABC and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't have to get a ring. Like, there's not, like, an actual, like, commit. And I love that America votes. I'm wondering how much true are these votes? It seems like it's pretty, like, hands off. There's nothing sketchy going on.
There is some legal standards you are, like, you're supposed to upkeep if you hold, like, a contest or a vote. But I would say that somebody would have to dive into the like, small language to really know what's going on. But
yeah. And, like, I know you guys talked about in your recap, too, like, getting rid of the money aspect. I agree. Like, at this rate where they're getting famous and way more opportunity as an influencer or whatever, like, yeah, that's enough. Like, they don't need to have this money thing. Maybe they can,
if you
I don't know
prize,
what.
Give it, like, a trip or something and be like,
I was going to
take her on the trip, or...
Yes. I think that would be more interesting, is like, hey, like, we know we kind of just forced you. Like, yeah, you're in beautiful Fiji, but you're also just trapped in a villa, like, to an extent. Like, let's actually give you, like, a nice little, like, honeymoon, basically. I think that's a great idea. Because, yes, put the $100K towards that. Like, you're giving the money away anyway.
Why not?
And then give us a bonus episode, or bonus clips at the reunion. That's what could be good. If you need to, like, monetary it, you can do that.
Very good point.
But yeah, no, I'm curious now. We've had, like, such flip-flops of, like, season 6 was so good. Season 7 had very high highs, very low lows. I mean, we got all the memes out of that, Mamacita. Nick and Alandra are just hilarious together.
Yeah.
I'm not at the point where I'm subscribing to his Snapchat to pay and watch them. But I do get the TikToks, and they're so goofy. And
oh my God, I will
feel
say,
like you can feel the chemistry.
For everybody, Jill and I watched the second to last episode together-ish. Like, we were at a friend's house, so we barely watched it. But we stepped in to watch all those platter things be lifted, and we're screaming. And the guys were like, what is going on?
So, we force everyone. We were supposed to do a park wine night, and it's going to rain. So we're like, okay, we're moving indoors. And I said, everyone, we're watching Love Island. Literally, they turn it on because of me and Meredith. We go out on the patio. Awesome about other stuff. I'm not just like, whatever.
Because we couldn't listen, obviously.
No.
So we're like, meh. But so many people were watching it. Yeah.
Like, it's an intense, like, you have to sit and watch, especially for you to record.
I was like, I can't subtitle read this. Like, well, I'll come back later. And then people grabbed us to find out who left. And it was Shelly and Ace, and we were screaming.
Crazy. No, it was just
voting,
like the fact
voting was going live, and I was like, defensive vote for Nick and Alandria, everybody.
Yeah, no, and I know, like, it was hilarious hearing Alicia being, like, so
anti-Nick and Alandria. We didn't talk at all during the season.
And honestly, I feel like that's such a fun, like, little twist for you two. To just, like, let something cook so long, and then, like, I really think your Love Island recap, just doing it all in one go, was perfect. Make it just an extra long episode, and then just, like, knock it out. Because for you two to have to do a show that's daily coming out is actually crazy. Because it's like, how do you break it up? Are you going to do a week by week?
Yeah.
Like, that's so much to come in when so much changes and shifts and happens. That, like, you can just do a longer recap.
Yeah.
But no, like, it was just hilarious. Like, we're just yapping on the patio, and we just hear, we turned this on for you two. Get out here. They're kicking people off.
Oop,
and we came in, we were holding hands. We were so nervous. But yeah. And that's why reality TV is fun, because it brings people together like that.
Well, you mentioned that, like, Kiki, Alandria, and Shelly just yapping on a podcast, and I was like, man, that's what we're doing right now. This is... I'm so happy you came on this episode. This has been
this has been great. Like, you're a great host. You and Alicia do a fantastic job. I feel like I've learned so much more about, like, reality TV and Bravo Nation and everything, like, with you guys. And yeah, subscribe to their Patreon, guys. Support local businesses.
Women in STEM. Well, any final thoughts, Jill? Yeah, anything you want to add before we head out?
I think so. No, this was so fun. Just yapping, doing what we usually do in the corner of a bar. We even trauma dumped a little as usual. But no, I am so glad. Like, you really have gotten me hooked on, like, new shows. So I am just so excited for your future stuff. I do have one idea for you that I think would be really fun for you and Alicia. I think you should do, depending on your commitment, because I was thinking about it when you asked me, like, what got my intro to reality TV. I was like, you guys gotta do, like, retro reality TV recaps. Okay. Whether it's, like, watching a pilot of, like, a one-hit wonder or committing to, like, a one-season wonder and that's it. Like, I think that's so fun.
We do some one-seasoners, and they are iconic. We have done NYC Prep, which was a Bravo show. I can't remember the second one we did. We did the Bush family show that I mentioned earlier, which was called Bush Family Brood. And for everybody on Patreon, they kind of have seen these start rolling out. But this is why you should subscribe to Patreon, because this will come out in September. Yeah. We're watching Jackson Brittany take Kentucky, which I forced Alicia to do against her will.
Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I will say it's a lot. It's a lot.
Like, she really has carried the younger, like, shows, and I appreciate her about that. You know, Jackson Brittany Take Kentucky is so funny, because I think I've only ever seen the clips that they, like, showed from, like, that season of, like, Vanderpump Rules when they were referring back to the filming.
We have never watched it. Thankfully, it's only 6 episodes. It's a show, that's for sure. Yeah. But I will say the next time we do a one season wonders, we're gonna let the Patreon vote. Alicia gets to pick like 3 or 4 options because she's so mad we're doing Jackson Brittany. But the Patreon will ultimately decide what the final one is. So worth joining over that.
There you go. Well, I will say I will promo if you love Love Island, I just rewatched Are You the One?
We were talking about that.
Yes,
Oh
because
God,
Are You the
such a good
one was an MTV show. It's similar premise, but like more somehow mathematical because everyone needs a perfect match. But it's on Hulu. So good. I highly recommend. And it's literally just the same thing. Like, you're just in a house, but they get to drink. They get to party and drink. And like, I watched the whole season.
And there's no voting out. The only reason people leave is because they get matched, which adds its own chaos.
No. And I do love a show where there's not that, like, nerves of, like, oh, I need to, like, stay in it. Because that's tough. Like, Love Island, definitely, they play that game. But I appreciate that, like, Are You the One? You're casted, you're in.
There's still strategy of, like, finding your match and, like, trying to figure something out without faking your feelings for the game.
Yeah. And there's still a money prize, but they split among, like, 20 people, so they're not making money.
No.
And they're young. They're 21, 22. Like, we thought Love Islanders were young. These ones are younger. So if you need, like, more of a retro, like, older reality show that's not always popping off these days, I think they're done. They, like, were done in 2019 pre-COVID.
I agree. I think they are.
Highly recommend.
It's probably, like, 16 episodes. It's no, like, 60-some-odd episodes like Love Island is.
I think the season I really committed to in college was, like, 12 episodes. Like, it's an easy, you're in, you're out. You can half pay attention. They're messy. A stuffed animal gets burned in a fire. It's MTV trash, which is what sometimes I think I'm missing from Peacock and Bravo.
That's a good point. Well, a great recommendation. And thank you so much again for joining us
thank you for having
episode. Me. Well, another great episode in the books. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.